Sanbonani, Sanbonani. Welcome to Insta Chat with the Journalist. Today I'm talking to TallArseTee. And yeah, when you hear the phrase "Ngwanesu, Ngwanesu," you know who comes to mind. He's a pioneer in the field, making Amapiano go forward. He's the man that we all see on the socials. And yeah, we'll be chatting to him about his EP. We'll be chatting to him about the work that he does. We'll be talking to him about, Spansa Kenje in general. So yeah, without further ado, let's welcome the man to the Insta Chat with the Journalist. Away, bro. I'm ready for you. So, brother, how are you?
I'm blessed. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm very good. I wanted to talk to you at the Batu launch, but you were so busy. I was waiting for you in Mpumalanga, but you were busy
There's a
doing your work. Can you hear
Can't
me?
hear you.
No, I'm saying that, I wanted to interview you at the Batu launch in Mpumalanga when you were the
Yeah.
MC. Remember that day?
At the Mpumalanga. I talking about the battle launch.
Yes. But you were busy because
Oh yeah, I remember. Quite frankly.
Yeah. But I'm glad I have the opportunity to talk to you today. How are you, sir?
I'm blessed and highly favored. Before we can go any further, let me start introducing myself and be like, oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's a boy, TallArseTee, the MC from Comora. Some nice mayonnaise, sayonnaise, or just my eyes, some sweet caramel slice of cake. Para muito mu, desbam senyoni, tula, magazine, sa fine kala, bona, kifikila kasemo. I'm with the journalist, DJ himself. Ow!
Yo, man, you're too crazy with
We need
that.
to get the energy before we can get into the business. We just need to have that thing.
Yeah. So that's your intro. So you do that every time you do a show, no?
Not all the time. I improvise. Remember, you check the situation. Sometimes and sometimes it depends on the mood, and yeah, that's how I improvise.
Yeah, I think you are a very interesting individual, looking at your journey and
True.
just looking at your career. You do many things
Yeah,
and they all work together. So before we
absolutely.
get into like the work that you do, how did you get into the entertainment space?
How did I get where?
Into the
I think your
entertainment
volume is a
industry?
bit low. I can't hear you clearly.
How did you get into
Can you increase it?
entertainment? Yeah. I just put up the volume now. I'll just speak close to the phone.
Yeah. A bit better. You were saying?
How did you get into entertainment?
How did I get into entertainment? Wow, I always get this question. I was not expecting it. I didn't plan it whatsoever. Before I actually joined the entertainment industry, I was a financial advisor for one of the insurances in the country. And back in 2016, a friend of mine was booked to come and DJ at some 21st. And you know how 21st are. They need a program director. You need someone who's handle the whole thing. Call them I don't do yeah, but anyways. And what happened is they didn't have a program director. And I'm used to presenting. As a financial advisor, you have to be in the boardroom, present to your clients, present to the stakeholders, the shareholders, and so on. So for me, it was something that I could actually do, even with the crowd, but I didn't do it then. And he's like, you know what, because you can do this, hold the mic. All you need to do, call anyone who has to come forward and speak, make a few jokes that you always do, and hype up the crowd. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's do this. Now, that's way immediately after the whole thing, people started coming to me like, hey, we need you to come and MC for our daughter's 21st or for our wedding or whatever the case might be. Like, oh, okay, now I'm getting booked. How much do you charge? How? Now I charge even. Because I thought I'm only doing it for that time, only that time. And I couldn't charge. I was like, you know what, just give me 500 for petrol, man. Because I had an 8 to 5 job, so I didn't actually need it at that particular juncture. And throughout, the period, I'll get bookings at big events, get bookings at digitally on TV and whatever the case might be. And it actually took me 3 years to decide whether to continue as a financial advisor or am I now an entertainer. And I found passion through entertainment, hence why I took that decision to resign as a financial advisor. And here I am, as TallArseTee.
And you know, how did the whole Ngwanesu thing come about? Did you coin that? Because it became catchy. How did that come about?
Now, I just mentioned the fact that I found passion out of entertainment. So things started coming out. I mean, a lot of people now know me from DJ Jaivanis mixtapes as doing voiceover. And if you can listen to my voiceovers, they're not just ordinary voiceovers. They're poetic, and that's how I am, you know. And I used to do poems and presentations while I was in high school. I enjoyed doing Sesotho. And my former teacher used to call me Ngwanesu. So I was like, you know what, Ngwanesu, why not mix the two and come up with something authentic, something that can be a signature? Because it's very important as an artist, as a brand, to have something that people are going to remember you of. You know, you get to places where people don't actually recognize you when they see you. But the minute you start opening up, this is the guy. This is the guy that we hear on Jaivanis voice mixtapes and whatever the case might be. Why did they get to know who I am? Is because of that authenticity that I have. Not everyone has it. So it's very important to have your own signature so that people can easily recognize you.
And you know, it's also very extraordinary because now you move from being an MC to being an artist. So what made you, what was that moment for you when you're like, you know what, I can also be an artist?
Yo, quite surprisingly, like I said, I never thought of myself being an MC after my friend actually gave me the platform. Now, for me to become a vocalist, what happened is with my gimmicks. So when I started being an MC, I used to post videos every Friday just to hype up everyone for the weekend, you know. So there's a duo, MFR Souls, one of the biggest Amapiano producers that the country's ever had. They hit me up on DM. Hey, dude, you know what? We were thinking, why not use your gimmicks that you use on a song? I'm like, can we? Because I know when you do a song, you need to sing, right? I never thought of using gimmick on a song. I was like, okay, sure, let's do it. Then they sent me their numbers. I called them. On the very same day, on that evening, I went to their studio. When I got there, they were like, you know what? Here's a song. Use your gimmicks that you always use. Mang to 1, to 2. And I used to do that. Come the 31st of that month, I'll be like, 31, Kasan 32. They were like, take that, let's put it on the song. And that's how Bambikanda came about. That was my first, Bambikanda. And I blew off immediately after that song. And that's how I became a vocalist as well, together being an MC. And now I'm not only a vocalist or MC, I'm a motivational speaker, I'm a choreographer. I'm an all-round entertainer. And it's very important to be versatile, especially in this industry, because if there's a loophole, then you can be able to fit in. You understand? So yeah, that's how I came about being a vocalist.
Now tell me about, you know, Pampiri EP.
Tell you about what?
Pampiri EP.
My EP?
Yeah.
Or the one I released. I'm sorry, I'm in the saloon. I had to go live with you because...
yeah, no, it's cool, man. Yeah, your EP, Pampiri EP. Yeah.
Oh, so the EP. I released the EP last in August, on the 5th of August. And it's a coincidence. That's when my firstborn actually born. Which is Tiama. Yeah, so I think that was a gift to him. I never thought I was going to release it on that day, up until the mother of my child said, you know what, I also gave birth to your firstborn. So yeah, that's when I released it on the 5th of August. And it is actually a tribute to DJ Papers. I'm sure you know him.
Yeah.
He was a phenomenal act, and he contributed quite a lot in the entertainment industry. So I was like, you know what? Let me tribute this EP to him, and that's why now I have one of the biggest songs in that EP, which is Manona. and he's actually featured on that song. What does that tell you? He actually gave me blessings on the song and the whole, because the whole EP is doing great, but the Winona, he's featured on it, and it's making waves.
That's amazing, man. And then, you know, another dope song from you is 2 a.m. with Abidioza and Major League. How did that collab come about?
Same thing that happened with MFR Souls. Major League hit me up. They're like, hey, talk, we like your vibe, we like your energy, we like your gimmicks, come to studio, let's do a song. And at that particular juncture, I never thought I would actually have a song that I feature them instead of them featuring me. So when they called me, they wanted to feature me, but only to find out that I can also feature them. And that's why I took the song and I put it on the EP.
Okay, that's dope, bro. You know, two more questions for you. Obviously, like, you know, Amapiano is big, it's taking over the globe now. But we see that, you know, there are quarrels in the industry, and I saw that, you know, what's your opinion on that? On people, you know, in the Amapiano space now starting to beef? Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? Like in hip hop, it made their careers grow. You know, what's your opinion?
To be quite honest with you, I would say it's quite oxymoron. You know, like figure of speech, sweet and sour. It can work on your favor. It can also destroy you. It depends on how you do it. Sometimes it can be a relationship. It's something that you spoke about on the side to say, hey, let's let something so that everyone can talk about it. It's called PR, public relations. And that's one. Two, but if you are beefing on a real note, like I said, it can either break you or make you. I hate beef all my life. Whether it's a business related or whatever the case might be, the end result of it are never good whatsoever. And I think the whole reason why this is happening, one, is because now that Amapiano has a lot of competition. It has a lot of competition. Everyone wants to stand out. Everyone wants to be bigger than anyone. Everyone wants to be a pick of everyone else. And that's where it's going to be quite cramped for you as an individual. You must think, whether is this going to work for me or not? With me, I don't like it. Whether it's going to work for me or not, I like to keep my brand as consistent as it is from when I started until today. Because the young ones are watching. The old ones are watching. If I'm going to do this, who am I talking to? Am I talking to the old one or am I talking to the young one? So I need to make sure that I balance the equation because tomorrow I don't want people to be like, oh, we know TallArseTee, but he does this and that and that. That's why you'll never hear any drama about me. I respect my brand so much to such a point that I'd rather stay where I am than to want to have a publicity that's going to put me on the page and jeopardize my brand.
Wow, good answer, bro. And you know, you're a brand ambassador for Batu. What does that deal mean for you to be a brand ambassador for Batu?
It's quite overwhelming. I started with Batu in 2017 when Theo called me to come and MC for his launch. He was launching the shoe. Look at him now. He's on Forbes. He's one of the greatest businessmen in the country, and not in the country, the whole continent and globally as well. And as a black man, to be where he is today and me being part of that movement, it's actually tremendous. And, you know, I'm glad I'm also now a brand ambassador of Legends Power. That's where I'm at this moment of time. The growth is overwhelming, it's tremendous. I take it one step at a time, and I appreciate each and every little thing that comes my way. And the most grateful part of it is the fans, the people that support me. They're the ones that put me where I am today. Everything that I've achieved, everything that I have is because of them, and I'll always be grateful for that.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to say to your fans out there?
Yeah, sure. I always say this when I do motivational speaking at schools or corporate, whatever the case might be. And this is my motto. The difference between who you are and what you want to be is what you do. So each and everything that you do can determine your future, can be a break or a launch off of your career. So you need to be very careful and you need to plan. That's why when we went to school during our primary years and high school years, early high school years, they would tell us about SMART, which is SMART. That itself can work even when you're older. You need to make sure that you plan ahead. You don't just wake up and like, okay, let's see how the days go. No. Even if you don't have anything to do, plan what you're gonna do. Whether you plan it a day before or in the morning, and I'm telling you, you're gonna get where you want to be at. But remember, it's what you do that's gonna put you where you want to be at.
I know. Thank you, man. I know I said last question. Last question. There's a guy here, the father figure. He says, when are you dropping?
When am I dropping? I dropped Lento last week, Friday, which is a single after my EP. So you must actually go on all social media platforms. You'll find it. It's Lento, featuring Just Sarko and Agristo. I'm all about upcoming artists at this moment. I'm now about uplifting the young upcoming artists. So those are the new upcoming artists under my record label, with Brand Me as well, which is my management. They're doing tremendous. I know they're watching right now, so shout out to them. And I'm dropping my album, I think, on August again. So another coincidence.
Okay.
For the summer. So I'm dropping my album. I'm going to have Cover the Small, Focalistic. I'm going to have Gamo Pela. I'm going to have a lot of artists. Spooky, name them. So I'm still working on it. 8 tracks I've recorded. That's fun. Who knows? Maybe I might drop it in one album, just like Kabza.
Yeah, man. Good luck, and thank you so much for your time, bro.
Awesome. In closure, once again, but there's a continent in this world called Africa. And the continent itself, you'll find a country called South Africa. You enter the country itself, there's a province called Gauteng. In the Gauteng itself, there's a city called Johannesburg. You enter Johannesburg itself, you'll find some nice mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, or just mayonnaise, some sweet caramel glass of cake. But again, it is the journalist, DJ himself, with your host, TallArseTee, the MC from Comora. Ow!
Uncle.
I was Sharp, my king.
Ciao, ciao.